Okay, Uranus moving into Taurus. Uranus is going to be into Taurus for over the next 7 years. It's going to go in there on the 5th. It'll retrograde. It'll be in Taurus till the 6th of November. Because of the retrograde, it'll go from on the 6th of November back in to Aries and then into Taurus again finally for the next 7 years on March 7th of 2019. Critical here is it's going to nicely align with Pluto, Saturn, and their transiting of Capricorn. And I look at Pluto and Capricorn overhauling the system and trying to get us back in line, more developed with nature. Uranus is going to help us tremendously here. When Uranus last was in Taurus in June of 1934 to May of 1942, Pluto was in Cancer, opposite of where it is now. Neptune was in Virgo, opposite of where it is now, and then Saturn was in Aquarius, one sign ahead of where it is now. Do some research on that time, June of 34 to May of 42, and just see what went on back then, as that was the last transit of Uranus in Taurus. But this one's going to be a lot different, as Pluto and Saturn in their transiting of Capricorn are really bringing about lessons and evolution and destruction of anything that's not in line with nature. So a lot of things that have been hidden beneath the surface are being called out. There's revolution everywhere, and revolution doesn't mean that we have to go to war to fix, but people are really coming to understandings that are opposite or opposing what they thought was right. And I think Uranus coming into Taurus, because Taurus is the building of the base, the trying to put a structure together that can last time. A lot of people are going to be one way as Uranus comes into Taurus here on May 15th, and then they're going to be totally different in 7 years. If you don't think so, look from, again, 1934 to 1942, June of 34 to May of 1942. Because I always think of the base building energy of the Taurus. We must really consider everything, and then the bigger part here is you must really work hard. So Uranus likes to bring us to our truth in the most direct form, and Uranus likes to shock us or knock us off and bring chaos. That's all going to be here. And guess what? Taurus likes the opposite of all that. Uranus rules Aquarius, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. These two signs square each other. Uranus rules 11th house, Taurus rules the 2nd house. And so it almost couldn't be more at odds here. Is Uranus likes to bring chaos to get you to think outside the box, and Taurus says just keep the plan, stay with the plan. So no, you're going to find yourself swinging here in these next 7-8 years to extremes. And also, I think the best thing that comes of all this, or will come of all this, is you'll see things from a whole different perspective that'll leave you better than you were found, because that's the promise of Uranus as it transits through our charts and through each sign. From March 2011 to now, Aquarius was in the sign of Aries, and that's what we really got. We must, at the time, pioneering was important. Look how far we've come. Look what people use at the technological side, because Uranus likes to, and is kind of in charge of that, the future. Look how far it's come since March of 2011 till now. And how much we use our phones and Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook, and it goes on and on and on. And what we did in 2011, it's pretty interesting that all that's developed. That's Aries. Not all that stays in places. Everything goes through cycles, and 7 years I think are death and birth cycles. As Saturn and Uranus both have key things that happen to them every 7 years. Saturn goes through a quadrant in the chart, and Uranus goes through a house or a sign. And with that, then every 7 years we build something and tear it down. So there's a birth, and then 7 years later there's a death of some sort to evolve and take this to a new level. Uranus going into Taurus is going to help us with this all this technology and all these things we've done to try to move forward. These next 7 years, there will be a lot of backing up and fixing, and getting back in line with what's right, because a lot of people, I hear them all the time talking about, it's too much going on. This, not all this is necessarily good, and we're going to fix a lot of this as we move forward. What I'm going to try to do here is get you to fix you. I don't mind evolving, but sometimes you got to step back. There's times to go. Aries is the sign that says we must move, move, move. Taurus is the sign where we first recognize that, hey, wait a minute, our going and moving forward, what has it done to us? And let me look at my environment. How has it changed? How have I changed? So almost in this fixed sign, we want to take this fixed planet of Uranus, where two stubborn energies are working together, and we want to say, hey, yeah, we got to move forward, but we must have a base that helps us as we move forward. So there's going to be a lot of struggle here, and a lot of fight and aggravation that's going to occur, not only within you, but within the people around you. So know that, and become more aware, and just become more wise of your environment. And think of the fixed sign here as this planet of Uranus transits the sign of Taurus. Think of this as spending half your time of doing and applying, but back up and spend the other half of your time of observing what you're doing and how it's affecting the world that you've surrounded yourself with. Because as we're in these two planets, or the planet of Uranus in this fixed sign of Taurus, Uranus ruling the fixed sign of Aquarius, you're going to want to do both, because you're going to get aggravated if you get too far on either side of the equation of doing too much and not observing, or observing too much and not doing. So I caution you there that you, and you'll know Uranus always leaves us better than we're found, so you'll know what to do and when to do it. But I'm going to tell you right now that it's going to be an aggravating, or potentially aggravating, chaotic time here, as we got stubborn energies that want to do the opposite things. One wants to, no, we know this and we got to do it, and we got to stick with it and don't change plans. And the other one says, I'm going to be stubborn, that we got to just do what we got to bring chaos, and then in the chaos we'll find that next thing. So you're going to want to really be careful here, as it's not only going to be within you, but it's going to be in the outside world as you venture out and into and around, and whatever it is, the society that you're participating. So my thing is there's going to be some new things that are going to creep in here into the value system, and it's not just maybe the money side, but it's things that'll hold and have value. So you're really going to want to look at how things are going from a perspective of, is this something that can withstand the test of time? Because it might be new and come and be introduced and really work if it makes sense and can withstand the test of time. Or it might be something that's worked in the past, but they've tried to make it fade away, or it's tried to look at, oh no, that's old, don't deal with that, but it may come back and have value. So you're going to want to watch, because both of those are going to come into play. And a huge changes of wealth. You look from 34 to 42, 1934 to 1942, huge wealth transfer happens at this time. So good luck with this. Hope this video helps with Uranus. I love the planet. It rules my ascendant, and it's heavily played into my chart as far as how it deals with other planets. And so I hope that this helps you, and I hope that you learn to embrace the chaos and know that with what you're right and good at, sometimes you have that stubbornness, and keep it, because you'll learn as the chaos comes to handle it better and not try to own it, or not trying to let it own you. So good luck, and I'm glad to be back. Take care.